Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahawashi, Bahasham, Barakahakwadash, Barakatum. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure to the end. This is the brother Ra'aya coming at you with another lesson, and I'm going to start it off with Revelation chapter 2, verse 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. And that devil, or that deceiver, is speaking of the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, Esau, Edom, so-called white man, specifically their elites and, their puppets, these politicians, presidents, those in the government, etc., that they control. And we're coming into the times where the believers in Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, that devil is going to come down in great wrath against the truth, and especially against us. And as it says, some of us will be cast into prison that we may be tried. And I opened up the video with this verse to preface a clip from CBS News' YouTube channel titled "Behind Trump's Plans to Reopen Alcatraz." And back in the day, Alcatraz was a maximum security prison where they sent some of the worst convicts to, and it was on an island, in I think it was San Francisco Bay. But hey, with Trump's plans, to reopen it, and if it does get reopened, who do you think are going to be some of the main people to be sent there? The saints of Yahweh Bahashem Yahawashi, which we read in Revelation chapter 2, verse 10. And also a couple of weeks ago, what did Donald Trump say? That he wanted to send American, criminals, homeborn, to those prisons in El Salvador. And he told the El Salvadorian president that he's got to open about 5 more prisons. This devil knows that his time is almost up, as it says in Revelation 12, verse 12. When the men of the Lord, the prophets of Yahweh Bahashem Yahawashi, are out on the highways and byways preaching this word, as well as putting up video epistles online, and the nation of Israel is calling back on the names of their power, whatever heathen kingdom that's ruling at the time, is going to be taken out of power. Read Judah chapter 5. Yahweh Bahashem Yahawashi is going to fight for his people again. And the elites of the Edomites understand these things, so they're going to do whatever they can to keep this truth from going out. Again, rounding up the men of the Lord. And some of us will be martyrs for this truth. And ye shall have tribulation 10 days, which just means a complete amount of, tribulation for whatever your lot is. Be thou faithful unto death, because again, some of us will be martyrs, and I will give thee a crown of life. If you go down as a soldier of Yahweh Bahashem Yahawashi to the bitter end, as it says at the beginning, fearing none of those things which thou shalt suffer, you're going to receive that crown of life. So there's nothing to fear out here. As long as you retain your faith in Yahweh Bahashem Yahawashi and pray that Yahweh Bahashem Yahawashi doesn't take that spirit away from you. But I'm going to play most of this clip. This is a fair use copyright disclaimer. I do not own any of the footage in this clip, nor do I stand to gain from it monetarily. It is simply for educational purposes.
President Trump said he is directing his administration to reopen Alcatraz prison to hold America's most violent criminals. The former prison was known for holding some of the most notorious felons in the country, like Al Capone. It opened in the 1930s, but then closed its doors in 1963 for several reasons, including operational costs. The president made that announcement on social media, saying in part, "When we were a more serious nation in times past, we did not hesitate to lock up the most dangerous criminals and keep them far away from anyone they could harm. That's the way it's supposed to be." He doubled down on that stance while talking to reporters outside the White House. Take a listen to this.
Here's an idea I've had, and I guess because the judges, so many of these radicalized judges, they want to have trials for every single, think of it, every single person that's in our country illegally, they came in illegally, that would mean millions of trials, and it's just so ridiculous what's happening. And it's long been a symbol, Alcatraz, of whatever it is. I mean, it's a bad symbol, but it's a symbol of law and order. And, it's got quite a history, frankly. So I think we're going to do that, and we're looking at it right now.
Okay, let's bring in CBS News Bay Area's Veronica Macias. She's live near Alcatraz Island for much more on this. Veronica, good to see you today. What else do we know about the president's plan here?
Mugo, good morning. Well, already we know that the president's plan, it's really unclear right now. It's a proposal as it stands, but we know how difficult it was to operate this prison back in the day. I was reading on the FBI website, Mugo, they said that even water had to be brought in by boat to this prison because nothing really is available there. So this facility, yes, considered the maximum security facility, maximum security prison, but also very costly to operate. And like you said, there was infamous criminals who were held here, dangerous people back in the day like Al Capone and George Machine Gun Kelly, who weren't able to escape. That's why it's considered an ideal facility. However, it was costing the government 3 times more to operate than any other U.S. president. That's prison, that is. That's according to the FBI. And it's simply not affordable today. Already a spokesperson for the Bureau of Prison said that the agency would comply with all of the presidential orders. That's according to the Washington Post. Still, people have called this a bizarre idea and simply not practical.
Yeah, and Veronica, I think most of us know at this point Alcatraz is now a popular tourist destination. So what kind of reaction are we seeing or hearing from visitors and even city and state officials?
So, Mugo, this morning we know that people have simply said, this is a bizarre idea. Some people saying that perhaps this is all a distraction from something else because it's unclear how you would get the Rock operating once again because it is so costly. So some people saying perhaps this is a distraction to something else, and also questioning how you would house, when it comes to the topic of immigration, giving people due process. And there's also been mention of judges. So questioning the relation to Alcatraz to that idea. And just simply people saying, this is a popular tourist attraction and they don't see it happening any other way.
Yeah.
And hey, with the way Donald Trump's been moving, due process is the last thing on his mind. This is Isaiah chapter 19, verse 4. And the Egyptians, speaking of the spiritual Egyptians as pursuant to Revelation 11, verse 8, the United States of America, these Americans, especially these American Edomites, will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king or president shall rule over them, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts. And with the way Donald Trump's been moving, it's looking like he could very well be that cruel Lord, that fierce king, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, will set over Egypt, America, and him reopening or possibly reopening Alcatraz. It's a very major symbol because that prison has a brutal history to it. And the main criminals, in quotes, the public enemy number 1 are going to be the men of the Lord, as it says in Matthew 24, verse 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, which it has, mainly through the unicorn or the internet, which the true prophets of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, GMS or Great Millstone, as well as the brothers sincerely coming in the spirit of GMS, have been using to spread this word from one end of the earth unto the other. And hence you've seen camps pop up all across the earth. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. Hence, why you're seeing all these end time signs and prophecies take place, or either be in the process of taking place as we speak. So that devil is again going to come down in great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time to hold on to power, try to fulfill his great reset, that NWO, and try to keep this word from going out. So, hey, to you sincere Akim, and for you sincere Akwat out there, we are quickly coming into the times of Jacob's trouble, where you're going to have a big faith in Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai to get us out of these situations, which we're quickly coming into. What I found very interesting is in the book of Eli, which, anybody who calls himself a Hebrew Israelite has to see this movie if you haven't already. In the book of Eli, Denzel Washington, he relied on Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, or, God in the Bible, as they'll have it in the movie. And the Most High got him out of, all the situations, dire situations that he found himself in. But what's very interesting is what took place towards the end of the movie, which is this is a spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. But I'm going to go to the plot section and read I'll read the last couple of paragraphs here. Solara, which was the woman that was following Eli throughout the movie, Denzel Washington, escapes, destroying one truck with a hand grenade and driving back in another to find Eli. With his remaining vehicle low on fuel, Carnegie, who's the villain of the movie, returns to town. Now listen to this. Solara finds Eli, and they drive until they reach the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. They row to Alcatraz Island, where they find a group intent on perceiving what remains of literature and music. Eli tells the guards that he has a copy of the Bible. Taken inside, Eli dictates the new King James Version of the Bible from memory to Lombardi, the sanctuary's leader. So at the end of the movie, Eli, who's an example of the elect, a man of the Lord, goes to Alcatraz Island. Could be an example of what? Predictive programming, revelation of the method. And as we read in Revelation 2, verse 10, some of us will be cast into prison by the devil, but we are to fear none of these things, because whatever our lot is, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai will be our defender in that day, if we are of that elect number. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 16. I'm going to read verses 70 to 75. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. Esau's going to come down on the entire nation of Israel, your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But that number one target is going to be the Israelites. And he's going to want to get his hands on who he perceives to be the elect. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. Soldiers, militarized police, mercenaries, UN forces, even robots. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. And if they cast them out of their houses, where would they want to bring them? To these prisons, detention centers, FEMA camps, or very well, Alcatraz. Verse 73, then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold is tried in the fire. Be thou faithful unto death, if that's your lot. And as it also said, fear none of those things which shall be brought upon you. Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord. Behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for the Most High is your guide. Hey, if we are of that elect number, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is going to get us out of these situations. Whether it's your lot to be a martyr, the Most High is going to put a spirit on you to take that death manfully. But, on the flip side, brothers, and sisters that are brought to these prisons or camps, miraculous miracles are going to take place just as they took place in the past. And, the elect, will, through the will of the Lord, will escape some of these prisons. This is Romans chapter 15. I'm going to read verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. And all throughout the scriptures, there are accounts of what our forefathers went through, and Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai intervening to get them out of situations which seemed inescapable, including being in prison and being, let out of it, such as what happened with the Apostle Peter. This is Acts chapter 12. I'm going to start at verse 1, and the header reads, Peter's arrest and deliverance. Now about that time, Herod, who was an Edomite, the king, stretched forth his hands to vex certain of the church, the saints, and he killed James, the brother of John, with the sword. Examples of the believers of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai being put to death in the past. So, that's going to happen to some of us in these times. Be thou faithful unto death. And because he saw it pleased the Jews, he proceeded further to take Peter also. Then were the days of unleavened bread, the Pesach, the feast of unleavened bread. And what's crazy too is you're going to have a lot of our own people that are going to cheer on Esau coming against the men of the Lord. And when he had apprehended him and put him in prison, the devil shall cast some of you into prison that ye may be tried, and delivered him to 4 quarter unions of soldiers to keep him. Let's see what a quarter union is. A squad of 4 soldiers. So what? 4 times 4, 16 soldiers to watch guard over Peter. Delivered him to 4 quaternions of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter, speaking of the Pesach. It's not talking about that pagan holiday, worshiping what's that hoe's name? It's escaping me right now. I believe it's Ishtar. It's a fertility. The Easter, as you people practice it, which the bunny and the eggs. I believe that goes back to Ishtar, and it's a fertility, ritual. It's a pagan practice, nothing to do with the scriptures. Intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people. Verse 5, Peter, therefore, was kept in prison, but prayer was made without ceasing of the church unto the Most High for him. And when Herod would have brought him forth, the same night Peter was sleeping between 2 soldiers, bound with 2 chains, so no chance of escape. And the keepers before the door kept the prison. And behold, the angel of the Lord came upon him, and a light shined in the prison. And he smote Peter on the side and raised him up, saying, Arise up quickly. And his chains fell off from his hands. So an angel intervened to, save Peter from prison. And the angel said unto him, Gird thyself and bind on thy sandals. And so he did. And he saith unto him, Cast thy garment about thee and follow me. And he went out and followed him, and wist not that it was true, which was done by the angel, but thought he saw a vision. Verse 10, when they were past the first and the second ward, they came unto an iron gate that leadeth unto the city, which opened to them of his own accord. And they went out and passed on through one street, and forthwith the angel departed from him. So again, everything written aforetime was written for our learning. And back in 2nd Esdras chapter 16, then shall it be known who are my chosen. The Most High will try his elect as gold is tried in the fire. And while some of us will be martyrs, more will have these miraculous miracles take place to where, some brothers that were or sisters that were cast into prison by that devil, Yahweh Bahashem Yahawashi, and the angels are going to intervene to get them out of that situation. So we have nothing to fear. These are very, scary times we're coming into, but very beautiful times as well. All those ancient accounts of our forefathers are going to replay themselves in these modern times as a testament to the power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahawashi, and that this devil, Esau Edom, can't do a goddamn thing. This is Psalms 34, verses 7 to 9. The angel of Yahweh encampeth round about them that fear him and deliver them. And fear is the beginning of wisdom. So, to you sincere Akim and Akwath that fear in Yahweh Bahashem Yahawashi, we have angels encamped around us, that get us through our daily lives. And when we're in our hours of temptation, they will deliver us. O taste and see that Yahweh is good. Blessed is the man that trusteth in him. O fear Yahweh, ye his saints, for there is no want to them that fear him. Hear, O ye my beloved, saith Yahweh, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for the Most High is your guide. Point blank, period. So that's it with this video. With this video, I hope you sincere Akim and Akwath were edified. Just keep strong. We are almost out of this final wicked captivity of the heathen nations, chiefly of the Edomites. And as always, I'm going to say Abad Babol, Kwam Yasharallah, and until next time, Shalom.